So, basically, right, the reason I really hate betas is because this very insidious and manipulative marketing strategy. Marketing's usually pretty obvious, you sort of post it makes you think about the game. It's, it's a little bit manipulative, but it's, simple. The betas are very manipulative. They're very manipulative, and they sort of, they mislead what their purpose is. Because inherently a beta, and we've had this with every publisher, Activision, EA, Ubisoft, Bethesda, and, who was the other one? Who did the other one? I can't remember. Basically, every fucking AAA is doing a beta now. Betas for their games. Which, originally, when they sort of, this trend started, it was originally just for multiplayer games. We had Call of Duty beta, we had a Titanfall beta. And the reason they said they did that is for server testing. And you know what? Fine. That seems somewhat reasonable to test your servers. Battlefield did it as well. But it seems somewhat reasonable to test servers. Which, I mean, it's not that reasonable because we've had online games for quite a while, and most of these games run on the same engine as previous online games, and frankly, they can pay QA testers, and frankly, they launch broken anyway, so it's fucking pointless. Whatever. That's first of all an illusion. Second of all, it's this sort of this fucking facade of exclusivity. It's an exclusive closed beta. And again, this gets people really excited because based on the fucking amount of people who've asked me for goddamn codes today, clearly people are buying into the hype. And it's a problem because inherently this is not a closed beta. This is a pseudo-closed beta. This is a beta where 1 billion codes exist, and probably in 2 days, none of you are going to have any problem getting a code. Because currently, I have codes as a press. And I imagine press at the moment only have codes. But tomorrow when it comes out, I imagine any fucking person who gets this game is going to be given 20 codes to give to their friends. And vice versa. And it's not exclusive. It is not exclusive. It is just this pseudo facade of this exclusivity to make the player and then to make the user and to make you lot feel like you're taking part in something more exclusive. Because inherently, when you make people feel a bit more like press, like they get an early access, blah, 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 blah. You're not. It's a very manipulative marketing strategy, and that's not the only thing. That's not the only insidious thing. The other insidious thing is the fact it's a beta, right? The beta part, it was always testing that stability, blah, blah, blah. Especially on PC, you're testing on multiple systems, blah, blah, and a lot of people sort of have complained as well about, they're just doing this, so they don't have to pay QA testers. No, it's more insidious, because they are not using this to test anything. There is no bug reporting. There is nothing. There's like send crash reports if it crashes, but that's it. There are no bug reporting. There is no forms to fill in. There is nothing you can do to impact the production of this game. There is no feedback you can send. Maybe for this they have feedback, but for most of these there are no feedback. Maybe there's a forum somewhere, but generally betas. I mean, proper betas. There have been proper betas before, like this, proper closed betas, but I've had a fucking they've had a feedback form. And this doesn't. And don't say this is EA for me, because every publisher's done this. Bethesda's done this with Doom. Activision did this with fucking Call of Duty. Ubisoft did this with the fucking Division. It's every AAA company does this. Every AAA company does this, and it's horribly insidious. So it makes the player feel like they're getting exclusive access to something and they're impacting the product when they are doing neither. And it's a very misleading practice. It's a very manipulative, misleading marketing practice, and it really fucking pisses me off because unlike microtransactions, which you kind of can see that they're insidious because they have this sort of gambling idea to them, and that's what's insidious about microtransactions. But this one is less harmful, I think. It's just more manipulative. It's more fucking. It's more evil. This basically, it's just makes the player feel a lot of things and implies to the player that they are a lot of things that they're not. You cannot report bugs. You are not helping the development of the game. You are not getting exclusive access. You're just buying into the marketing machine that is this game. Fucking Blizzard's doing one as well, isn't they? They have official forums. Official forums that don't fucking count. If it needs a bug reporter built in, fuck off. Like, they are. Beta equal demo. And a lot of people are saying this as well. A beta is just a demo. No, a beta is not a demo. A beta is worse than a demo. Because once again, a beta is something that, people, first of all, they feel like they have exclusive access, so it changes their, subconscious opinion there. A lot of people say, oh no, it doesn't change my opinion. It fucking does. Trust me. You might not think it does, but it does. There's a subconscious thing there. But secondly, the reason it's not a beta is because it's a beta that they can excuse every single bug for. Because, you know, when we look at betas, you know, or demos at least, when we, you know, I mean, fucking how many of you have played a fucking demo? At least, you know, when demos used to come on discs for the fucking 360 and the Xbox and stuff like that. You know, you were getting a snippet of the finished game. And any bugs that were really present in the demo would be present in the actual game. You know, the Just Cause 2 demo was, you know, a representative product. However, these are not representative products, or at least that's what they claim in the marketing materials. This game is not finished, they say. This game will have performance and bug issues, they say. And they can wipe them under the rug. They can dismiss them away because it's a beta. Because it's a beta, there will be bugs, they say. So when anyone plays it, they go, oh, that's a bit buggy. Oh, that model's not quite right. Oh, it's lagging a bit here. But it's a beta. They'll probably fix it. They'll fix it for the main game. They don't. They so rarely do. Most of the bugs in fucking this will be in the main beta. Unless they're like massively game breaking, they're going to be in the main game. All this allows the marketing people to do is explain away any bugs and hide them under the guise of the fact it's a fucking beta. And Square Enix, fucking Square Enix did this as well, that beta thing. Every fucking AAA is doing it, and it's really, really pissing me off. Because as someone who works in the back-end industry, and sort of is more cynical, I think, than a lot of people, it's just, this is an extremely insidious, malicious, and misleading marketing practice. It's a horrible, horrible thing, and I really hate it. I hate it more than microtransactions. Now, I get codes. I'm not gonna, like, the thing is, I'm contributing to the marketing machine. That is this by fucking playing this. This is what they want. I'm giving away codes. This is exactly sort of what they want, and I'm encouraging this. Oh, of course I'm encouraging this. I'm fucking buying in. Well, not even buying in. I'm just sort of contributing to the marketing machine that is the AAA games industry, and you see, on one hand, it's a horrible experience. On the other hand, I've got a code for a game, and you know, people do seem to trust my opinion somewhat, and I'm going to give my opinion now. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. And I know I've given the code to Dan, I've given the code to Steve. They're probably going to do videos on this as well. And it is a case of, it's a very insidious practice. Don't give them away, then give them to charity. That's not how. It's money driven by hype, money, publishing money. Yes, marketing is the work of the devil. It usually is pretty insidious. But this, I think, goes above and beyond the usual level of insidiousness that comes from marketing. Because normal marketing uses human psychology somewhat. You know, it's the whole idea of, you know, when you sort of drink a Coca-Cola advert, you show a slow motion shot of the Coca-Cola being poured into a glass with ice, and it's sort of this psychology. They've done a lot of tests that it makes the person thirsty, and the person's thirsty, and then the first thing they think about is Coca-Cola, because that's what they've just seen. That's marketing, and that's in itself a bit misleading and a bit sort of, but that's basic marketing. Fine, whatever. That's just going, ooh, look at my thing, and it's not necessarily misleading. It's just, you know, if you don't like Coke or want to buy Coke, it's not going to make you buy Coke. But, you know, it might make you thirsty and make you buy an extra Coke next time in the shop, whatever. But this type of marketing is just, I hate the PC hype. I hate games hype. I hate the sort of the culture there. I don't like a lot of gaming culture, like gaming marketing culture, that is, because gaming marketing culture is inherently more, it's more flashy and obnoxious than most marketing. I was complaining about this on Twitter yesterday. I was talking about sort of headphones. You know, even the PC hardware manufacturers, you know, this is why I hate EGX, the main EGX, because, you know, you've got your big hardware manufacturers, and a lot of good hardware manufacturers, but you know, you've got AMD, you've got fucking Nvidia, you've got Razer, you've got I don't know, you have a lot of MSI, you've got all these big hardware companies that seem to spend a lot more on marketing than they normally would, and generally, a lot of the marketing is, look, isn't our product so flashy? Look, it has angles. Look, it has RGB lighting. Isn't it fucking amazing? And that is obnoxious, because usually those products are fucking shit. They're shit. They are shit products. They are overpriced, and they are marketed to you at a pumped up cost. Razer is 100% at fault there. Razer are terrible. I hate Razer. Their QA is horrible, and the design's quite nice. I'll give them that. The design and the quality of materials is quite nice, but the build quality and the quality assurance is terrible. And just because you have a good Razer product doesn't make that not true. You know, I've known a lot of people with Razer products. I bought Razer products. Every Razer product I've ever bought has broken on me, or not been made properly. Most people I know, if their Razer products have broken on them, headphones, laptops, keyboards, everything, and people keep buying them because it's this the respected brand, and people have this view that it's a respected brand for some reason. I don't know why it has this. Logitech gaming stuff is like this as well. And then, you know, you have all this hardware stuff, and it's this sort of insidious, flashy, obnoxious marketing. And you know what? I can ignore that. It's whatever. Fine. Makes people pay more money and think they need to buy things that they don't because it has fucking RGB lighting. And for some reason, you need your keyboard to match your computer case that's under the desk that you never look at. Who gives a shit? Who gives a... Stop it! You do not need 5 lighting areas for your fucking mouse. It's under your hand. Fuck off. It's just this thing to just brag to your fucking people online. Oh, look, I've got a fucking flashy mouse. Fuck off. So, you have that, right? And then you have your big AAA games publishers. You know, EGX last year I did the video on it. And, you know, you've got Battlefront, which is just, you've got this big TIE fighter. It's got all this big marketing fluff behind it. And it's this idea that, oh, no, they're going to queue 2 hours to play our game. Like, I played this at EGX. Where'd you go for hardware then? You know, there are so many good hardware manufacturers that don't really spend much money on marketing. I mean, Corsair are sort of on the cusp there. I have Corsair stuff. And the non-flashy Corsair stuff is really good. Their software is fucking awful, but I like Corsair stuff. You know, for headphones, I go Barodynamic. If you've ever, yeah, they don't market like. There's a lot of native instruments I use for my audio. Like, you just look around, shop. Don't just fucking buy the flashiest fucking thing that's marketed. Have a shop around. Look on forums. You know, that's but you know, you have these AAA marketing, and they're very insidious and they're very in your face, and they expect people to queue for 2 hours, and they have this disrespect for the player. You know. And it's just... It frustrates me quite a lot. You know, you have all these big games, and they're all big and flashy. You know, you had fucking Just Cause 3, which is sponsored by an energy drink, which is horrible in itself, because Just Cause 3, it's at EGX to be marketed. It's there as a marketing thing. Yeah, it was sponsored. Just Cause 3 got a sponsor for their advert. Could you imagine if you see a Coca-Cola advert come on, it's like, oh, it's sponsored by Glasgow. We make really good glass for your glasses. It's an advert. It doesn't need a fucking sponsor. The advert is the sponsor. Fuck off. God, I hate AAA marketing. It's very insidious. And, you know, it's sad because essentially all the PR people I deal with generally, you know, the EA, Bethesda, they're all lovely. I mean, Ubisoft don't have neither, but neither do I. I don't have a good one with 2K anymore. I used to, but the person left. Either way, and Activision's pretty good as well. And the PR people are generally very nice. I don't think they are the PR people, at least the people I deal with. I don't think they are being malicious or insidious. They're not the ones. You know, they're contributing to it in some ways. You know, I've had people, when I've complained in the past, people say, you know, when I say it's demo, when I just put, you know, Bookie's demo or whatever on Twitter, some of the more people go back to me and be like, oh no, it's a beta. Oh, it's beta. And I go, no, it's a, well, technically it's beta, but no, it's not a fucking, yeah, no, stop calling it a beta. Because it's a misleading term. Beta sort of applies this early access product that you're contributing to, and it is technically a beta release, I guess, but that, it's just a misleading thing. Regardless. They're all lovely, and most of this marketing stuff comes from the high-up PR guys, generally the people you're not dealing with. People, you know, you generally deal with when you're doing sort of games press and whatever. You deal with a lot of community managers, or sort of PR people, but not PR managers of the company. You don't deal with the marketing manager of the company, you know. Yeah, that's not what happens. And generally, that's the person, the marketing manager, the one... Well, the marketing team, the big marketing team at the top of the company who are planning these stunts, they're the insidious ones. They are the misleading ones. They are the abusive ones. And it just fucking pisses me off. It really does. It's just this mess of overhyped, overmarketed bullshit that, you know, a lot of these people try to sell to teenagers, and that's what it is. Most of the market for this shit is teenagers, regardless of, you know, I imagine a lot of you are teenagers. You're the fucking market, Like, and it works because inherently teenagers are a great market for this, because generally teenagers are less well versed in sort of the more sort of techie products. You know, most teenagers aren't very well versed in technology. Frankly, even if you're buying a gaming PC and you think you're a bit well versed in technology, you're basically versed in technology. You're not advancedly versed in technology. You know, they that's what, you know, people like, you know, Razer and shit rely on, is these people who aren't going to shop around and stuff like that. And the same with EA and all these big AAA companies. They sort of rely that you're not really going to read into it much. You're going to buy into it. And I wouldn't be doing this kind of stuff if I wasn't sort of in the press industry. You know, I wouldn't call myself a reviewer or anything. I mean, I do review stuff on the YouTube, but I'm not someone who has a big presence. I sort of work for Nerdcube, and I get a lot of these codes through Nerdcube. You know, I have 100 viewers now, which, I mean, is a good amount, but it's, you know, not enough that, you know, it's that much of an impact. But either way, people seem to respect my opinion somewhat, so I will do stuff like this, and I'll give a recommendation, or complain on Twitter or whatever. And it's I that's why I do it. You know, it's very frustrating to me. I was at EGX, I say, and I don't think I'm going to go back next year, just because I found the whole event just so obnoxious and so overly flashy, and just such marketing bullshit in itself is horrible. But, you know, which is probably why I hate John, because he worked in marketing for 7 years, the prick. You know, and it's, yeah, a lot of people shop around, and that's important, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't shop around. A lot of people don't shop around, especially if younger. Like, imagine the sort of 13-year-old who's building his first gaming PC, and he sees, you know, that his favorite YouTuber uses a Razer headphone or a Razer, you know, keyboard or whatever. And he goes, "Oh, I want that one," and he puts it in his wish list. And he goes to his parents, and go, "I want this keyboard or whatever," and the parents go, "No, Sally, you can't have this keyboard, it's like £300. And Sally's like, "No, I really like it though." And you don't need it. Sally doesn't need the keyboard. Fucking a £10 keyboard from fucking Amazon that's got a mouse included will probably do you fucking fine. Having bought those, they're perfectly feasible things. I buy good hardware because I work on a computer all day, and I work with games. I want good, reliable hardware that isn't going to break down on me, that, you know, is going to consistently work and feel nice to work on. Most people don't need that, but it's marketed that people do need that. It's very frustrating. Beats, you're paying for the brand. You are. Beats are a perfect example. Beats are, I think, a less insidious version of the gaming industry, because the gaming industry is a lot more sort of manipulative about it. And I'm watching it with these beaters. The beaters are these sort of very manipulative. I really hate beat. I might rip the audio from that bit and just stick that on YouTube rather than recording another rant about beaters, because I want to point out, when any of you watch me on sort of a Nerdcube stream, or even on this stream, when I get angry on those streams, I'm not really angry. It's an exaggerated thing, you know. I can shout and I can scream, but I'm not really angry. I don't shout and scream. I'm not a child. It's for comedic effect. This right now, this is me genuinely like annoyed and angry. I'm not shouty. I'm not sweary. I don't really swear much generally, usually, but this is sort of me legitimately just pissed off.